Hi folks, in today's video we're going to show you how to clean up your Windows 10 Start menu, and this is going to apply to the Windows 10 Anniversary Update or later. Now a lot of people have been complaining that the Start menu is not user-friendly at all. It's kind of a mess. There's the sidebar that they've collapsed here, and there used to be an All Apps button at the bottom where you could find all apps, but now they're all sitting here in different categories, most used and recently installed and whatnot, and you have to scroll through all the categories to find what you need. Lots of folders with kind of useless things like help me files and web links and readme files and whatnot that you don't really need perhaps all the time on hand or on demand. So we're going to show you how to clean it up and present you with a nice clean list like this. Now what I like to do is click on the Start menu in the bottom left hand corner, and I want to see a list of all the apps that I use all the time and nothing else. That's all I want to see. I don't want to scroll down through all different categories of alphabet categories and click on folders and then click on an app inside the folder and whatnot. I just want a clean list right here that I can nail immediately. Okay, so now what you need to do actually is you got to figure out what apps you want to see here. Win32 apps that you use all the time, and then hide the rest, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. And then the modern apps, the universal Windows platform apps, you got to have to decide which of those that you want to use or see or get rid of or whatever. Now there's various methods of getting rid of those apps. Some of the apps you can right click on them, and there will be a link on the right click context menu to uninstall them. You can go ahead and do that if you wish, if you don't use them. There's a PowerShell script to get rid of most of the boxed apps that come with the operating system, minus say Cortana, Edge, Connect, and of course Settings. Settings is the only one that you can't get rid of. I've gotten rid of everything on my system except the Settings, but that's kind of a half and half shortcut. So basically what you're going to do though is I'll post a link for the PowerShell script to get rid of everything except the ones that you can't, and I'll also post a link to a tutorial on 10forums.com to do so on a one-by-one basis. So let's get right to it. First of all, after you've decided what you want to get rid of and you're going to proceed to get rid of those, first thing you're going to do though is you're going to right click on the Start menu. You're going to open up a run box, and in the run box you're going to type shell apps folder, okay, and press enter. That's going to open up the folder that houses all the apps that are in your Start menu, whether they be Universal or Win32 programs. Now what you need to do is you got to select all of them and then right click and create a shortcut. Now that's going to create shortcuts on your desktop. Now create a new folder on your desktop and call it apps, and then gather up all those shortcuts that landed on your desktop and throw them into that folder, and then take that folder and put them somewhere. I ended up putting it where? I ended up putting it here. So that's all the apps that I gathered up from that creating shortcuts of them all. Now you can see Settings is the only one that I have left, so that's the only one that's live in this folder. Now if you happen to regret what you did and you say, well, how am I going to get that back, especially the store, because the store is kind of important. If you don't have the store, you can't download any more apps, any different kind of apps. So all you need to do is go back to that folder that you saved in a safe place. I would suggest on an other drive within your machine is probably safest, and then just click on the shortcut, and then it'll reinstate the app that you clicked on. Oh, that's a terrible picture. And then the like for instance here, the store is reinstated, so the store is new. So that's just kind of a safety net that you can use to make sure that if you regret what you did, you can get them back quickly. So do that first, and then you can proceed to one of the methods of uninstalling all the universal apps that you don't want to see. Then once you've accomplished all that, you're going to go into Windows, into File Explorer, and you're going to open up two folders and they are C, Program Data, Microsoft, Windows, Start Menu Programs, and C, Users, App Data, Roaming, Microsoft, Windows, Start Menu Programs. Now inside those two folders, basically what you're going to do, you're going to crawl inside these folders and you're going to make copies of all these shortcuts to all the programs that you have. Not cut and paste. I repeat, do not cut and paste the shortcuts. Make copies of them. Because if you cut some of them out, especially in some of the system folders, things are going to start going wrong on you. Okay, so make copies and paste them outside of those folders inside the parent folder here. Okay, same with the app data folder. Go inside and make copies of these shortcuts and paste them outside in the parent folder. All right, and then all you need to do is highlight all the folders that you want to hide and right click on them, click on properties, and check mark the box hidden, apply and OK, and then it'll say, a prompt will say, do you want to hide everything in these folders and the folder? And you click yes, and then you'll have to give your permission to do so, which by the way, you need to be signed on as administrator to do all these tweaks. So I should have mentioned that at the beginning. And then once you have all the folders hidden, then you start renaming these shortcuts that you placed outside here. Now what I've done is I've named them with a bullet at the beginning of the name. That's so they will stay at the top of the hierarchy here, and they will all stay in the AND category. Okay, because if you keep them the normal names, they'll be all separated by the alphabet letters here. So if you add a bullet, which you can easily do, just Google alt codes and get a chart for alt codes. I've used alt 7. So you press and hold alt and then 7 and then do space and then the name, whatever you want to do. These alt codes actually have a different hierarchy as well. If you use alt 3, which is the heart, it's kind of neat. You can use it for favorites. I've used it before. It ends up being higher in the hierarchy, and I use that to make a shortcut for my music folder and give it the alt code 3, which keeps it at the top of the list. So that's kind of cool. So just do that and play around with the alt codes a little bit, and you can get a feel for where they're going to be on your start menu. And you can change them. You can change it and change them up at any time. There's a little exception to the rule here. When you hide these folders in the Windows PowerShell folder, and this is the only one, you have to highlight all the items in the PowerShell folder and then right click on it and click properties, check mark the box hidden and apply an OK. That's the only one. Then you can go outside and highlight all the folders and then hide them. Everywhere else you can just click on all the folders and hide everything in them and the folders themselves. All right, so that's basically how you do it. You make shortcuts, copy the shortcuts, make new ones of them, and put them outside in the parent folders, and then rename them in a style that I've done here. And that's how you clean up your start menu, and I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.